So recently, I've been hearing a lot of people getting their books blocked on Amazon, which can be a really frustrating experience. So I wanted to create a dedicated video on basically how to not get your books blocked and to keep your account safe as well. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Danny, and I've been self-publishing for over 5 years now, being able to make more than six figures from the platform. So I wanted to provide my thoughts on this topic. So first of all, nobody likes having their books blocked. It is a very frustrating experience to put in hard work to create something and then to get it blocked is quite a terrible feeling. But you must know that there's a reason for this, that you have probably gone against Amazon's content guidelines. So even before publishing, you must make sure that you know the Amazon content guidelines. It still baffles me that even till this day, there's a lot of people out there that don't know these guidelines and probably will just rely on YouTubers or other people as their knowledge source instead of actually reading Amazon's guidelines. So first of all, just take the time to actually read through it and understand what you're getting yourself into. And let's go and take a look on Amazon at the content guidelines. So it does state here that authors, publishers, and selling partners are responsible for adhering to content guidelines. So there is a responsibility on you as a self-publisher to know these things. If your book does get blocked, then you can't go and blame anybody else and put the responsibility on them, as Amazon puts it on you. As Amazon significantly invests time and resources to enforce these guidelines, they use a combination of machine learning, automation, and dedicated teams of human reviewers, and they'll reject or remove content that does not adhere to these guidelines and promptly investigate any book when notified of potential non-compliance. And this is a bit that I found quite important as well, that if we remove a title, we let the author, publisher, or selling partner know, and they can appeal our decision. So Amazon will always let you know if you have gone against their guidelines. I do sometimes get comments that people saying that their books have been blocked for no reason and I haven't heard anything, but it clearly states here that Amazon, they will always let the selling partner know, and they'll give you the opportunity to also appeal the decision. So if you do feel you're in the right, then you can send them some evidence that you are in the right and that your book shouldn't be blocked. But now we're going to actually cover the reasons as to why your book might get blocked, and I'll break them down for you. So the first one we're going to start with is, and this is illegal or infringing content, as Amazon take violations of law and proprietary rights very seriously, and content must not infringe on copyrights, trademarks, or any proprietary rights. So if you don't know the difference between copyright and trademark, Amazon actually explains this as well. So copyright protects original work of authorship, such as videos, movies, songs, books, musicals, video games, paintings, etc. Generally, copyright law is meant to incentivize the creation of original works of authorship for the benefit of the public. And if someone is the author of an original work, then they typically own the copyright in that work. So if you are the original creator of something, then you own the copyright for it. And trademark is a word or symbol or design, such as a stylized brand name or logo, that a company uses to identify its goods or services and to distinguish them from other companies' goods and services. In other words, a trademark indicates the source of goods or services. Generally, trademark laws exist to prevent customer confusion about the source of goods and services. So I hope that clarifies the difference between the two. And I'm actually going to show you an example on Amazon. So Minecraft coloring books have been hugely popular on Amazon, and unfortunately, self-publishers have tried to take advantage of this. Now, Minecraft is a hugely popular video game for kids. However, it is a trademark term, and a lot of publishers have tried to make money from this, especially adding the unofficial to their book cover to kind of cover themselves in a way. Now, some self-publishers will see this and think, because one person has done it, then I can get away with it too. But there's no point taking a risk with your account. If you simply go to the USPTO website that has a trademark search, and you can clearly have a look. If you look for trademark class 016 and you find that, then don't go anywhere near that term. Again, you want to keep your account safe. Another thing you have to be aware of as well is infringing on image rights. A lot of people will try to create books around popular people. For example, we see these messy biography books that a lot of people are trying to do and make money from. Again, avoid this if you really want to keep your account safe. And another thing you want to completely avoid doing at all is unauthorized companion books, for example, summaries and study guides, and they are not allowed outside the US without explicit permission from the copyright holder. So, for example, on Amazon, there are these summary of atomic habits book by James Clear. Again, this is a really popular book, and a way people are trying to make money is creating these summary or these kind of revision guides. Again, just avoid doing this at all to keep your account safe. So the next area that could cause your book to be blocked is if it has offensive content. And examples to avoid is to make sure your book doesn't have any hate speech or is promoting harm or abuse, and nothing that actually makes light of serious issues such as violence, as Amazon does have the right to determine what is considered offensive or inappropriate, and any kind of that content will be removed from Amazon KDP. So you might feel that the content you're creating is fine, but again, this is Amazon's platform. You have to follow their rules, and they have the right to determine what is considered offensive or inappropriate. So you just need to make sure that nothing in your book will hurt or intentionally disrespect someone because of their background or any kind of beliefs that they have. So the next area I'll take a look at is AI content. Now, Amazon does actually allow AI content. I still get comments from people asking me about this, but yes, Amazon does allow it, but you have to determine whether your book is AI generated content. So if a program writes or creates the main parts of your book, then you need to tell Amazon about it and disclose it. Or if your book is AI assisted content, so if you write something yourself, but you might use a tool just to make it better, that's actually fine with Amazon and you don't need to tell them. But it is your responsibility to make sure that all the content within your book, whether it's made with AI or not, actually follows the rules. And as I said, if you are using an AI tool, just make sure that you disclose that to keep your account safe. And all you need to do is, when uploading the book, there's a section that has AI generated content. So if you have used AI content, just click yes. And then if it's text, you've got a few options here to choose on based on what you've actually done within your book. If it's images, again, you've got a few options to choose from. And if it's translations, you've got a few options to choose on. So just make sure that you disclose that in this section here. So this next area is probably one of the ones I hear about the most that people's books are blocked for. So providing a poor customer experience. Again, it's important to provide a positive customer experience with KDP content. Now, Amazon is a global brand, and there's people buying off Amazon every single day. So they want to provide the best customer service to keep people coming back, as you want to with any business. So it's important that with your books that you are providing honest titles, subtitles, and descriptions, and your book should actually be exactly as described so that the readers know what they are getting and they are getting value from your book. So we'll take a look at Amazon at this particular book. So it's one of the Barbara O'Neill books that a lot of people are creating to make money from. But a lot of these books have got some terrible reviews, and a lot of these customer reviews are 1 star. They're calling this book a scam, and they're really not happy with it. So this self-publisher is quite likely to get blocked, as this book is just not doing well at all, and people have had a really unpleasant experience with this. So with your books, you want to be providing the customer value, and you want to be making sure that if you are doing that, then the customer will be happy, and then you will get those positive reviews, those 4 or 5 star reviews from your book if you are creating the best quality book. And also to ensure customer satisfaction, Amazon might change a book's category at any time to ensure that readers have a positive experience. There are some self publishers that like to put their books in favorable categories that are not related to their book at all to ensure that their book does become a bestseller. There was even a time that, as self publishers, that we could actually add 10 different categories to your book. And again, a lot of people took advantage of that. So now you can only add 3 categories. So just make sure that the categories you add to your book are relevant towards your book. Another area that your book might get blocked for too is keywords. So make sure that you avoid these keywords, such as information that's covered elsewhere in your book's metadata. You've got words already mentioned in your book's categories, subjective claims about quantity, time sensitive statements such as new, on sale, or available now, information common to most items in the category, spelling errors, you've got variants of spacing, punctuation, capitalization, and pluralization, anything misrepresentative, like the name of the author, and not associated with your book. You've got brands that you do not own or that you are unauthorized to use, quotation marks in search terms, Amazon programs like Kindle Limited or KDP Select, and also HTML tags. So just be aware of that when uploading your book as well. Another reason that your book might get blocked is that it's public domain content. So Amazon actually does allow content that is in the public domain and no longer under copyright. So as an example, these are books such as The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Moby Dick, The Pride and Prejudice. And if a free version of a public domain title is available on Amazon store, that they will only allow you to publish a differentiated version. And Amazon may also ask publishers to provide proof that the content is in the public domain. Now, this is not a strategy that I actually do, but you can go over and read further information on publishing public domain content on Amazon's website. And I'll also leave a link for this in the description if that's something that you are interested in. And the final one I'll be taking a look at is bonus content, which a lot of self publishers do like to include within their books, but you do have to be careful with this, as it actually must be relevant to the customer and it should not disrupt the reading experience. And to meet these guidelines, Amazon actually requires you to place additional content at the end of the book, which is quite interesting because I actually place additional content at the start and actually at the end of the book. But when I read the guidelines, it says that we require you to replace additional content at the end of the book and listing the bonus content in the book's table of contents as well. And bonus content should actually not take up more than around 10% of your book. I usually just have it on one page anyway, and then I'll have a link that people can maybe scan their phone with, and then it will provide them with additional content. So it usually doesn't take up much of the book anyway. And also, you just make sure that you ensure that you meet the KDP guidelines, including exclusivity for KDP Select. You also have high quality translations, and there's actually no disruptive links or promotions as bonus content. So there are a few things to be aware of. So finally, a few takeaways to avoid getting your books blocked. Firstly, review the rules and actually make sure you know them. So before starting, make sure you read through KDP's content guidelines and understand what is allowed and what isn't. Also, ask for feedback. So if you're unsure, ask any mentors that you have. So ask self-publishers that know a lot more about this business than you, ask any friends, or even Amazon. You can contact Amazon by phone or via email and just ask them questions, and they could potentially actually catch you from doing anything that might be against the rules. Also, make sure that you are editing your work. Double check for books that have any mistakes or content that could be questionable as well, as Amazon does put all the responsibility on you. So again, you can't blame anybody else. Make sure that you are taking responsibility for every book that you create. And also, an important thing is to make sure that you are responding to Amazon's emails very quickly. If it does come through, don't take time, because if you don't respond, sometimes Amazon will just block your book automatically. They'll see it as you are in the wrong and you've got no reason, and they'll just block your book right away. So respond as quickly as possible. Now, thanks for watching another video. Let me know of your book blocking experience, if there's anything you missed out, and I'll add my own comment in the comment section.